What's good, y'all? What's going on? Joey Digital here. I am, y'all can see, sitting Siza, you know, out here, heart of nature, couple palm trees, couple birds screaming in the background, you know, just hopped out, y'all already know when I say hopped out, y'all already know what I mean. Just hopped out of the shower, just, got finished doing some of my morning routine. I didn't do the whole thing. A lot of yellow butterflies out here. I love the color yellow, man. Wow. They move so fast, I can't even. Um, by the time I turn the camera around, they already out of there. You know. Yeah, I wanted to kind of hop on and let y'all know about my new schedule that I have for going live. I know I'm kind of sporadic all over the place, and I'm really loving and enjoying going live. So I do have a new schedule coming up where I will be going live a lot throughout the week. So if you are interested, definitely stay tuned because I'm about to let you know in three, two, one. Yeah, so my schedule so far coming up for going live is as follows, okay? Mondays through Thursdays, all right? And I'm going to aim for 12 o'clock midnight, all right? Which technically is the next day. So anywhere between 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it is until otherwise the schedule that I am coming up with where I will be going live. I will be talking about a lot of the topics that I am currently studying, some of the current events that are going on around in content media. Of course, it has to only be, some interesting things that you will find of interest. I'm not going to be covering every single thing that happens out in content media. All right. And attention media, as I like to call it. I'll be, maybe I'll talk about some things, maybe I won't. I can't call it. Um, I'm just giving y'all a general ballpark idea of where I'm going to bring things. What's good, everybody? I see I got a few people in the mix. Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know about my new or my upcoming schedule. I'm going to be going live Mondays through Thursdays. I'm gonna shoot for anywhere between 10 and 12 midnight. All right. I'm not gonna do lives on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Primarily because I'm gonna be a little bit busy. Taking care of things. Of course, with the kids and stuff like that. So I kind of dedicate that weekend time to them. However, I do shoot videos, so I will be putting up content that I do shoot in the mix of all of that. Some of it might show up in the weekends during those times where I'm not going live. But I just want to kind of create a consistent a consistency. Where I'm shooting content. How's it going? How's it going? I see. What's going on? Hey, how's it going? Okay, I see. I got some comments in the mix. 10 to 12 ish. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, if you're going before me, I might check out your content. You know what I mean? Most likely. Um, you know, best of luck. Yeah. So yeah, I came up with this number because I've been trying going live all week, and it was like a day by day basis. And I'm not gonna lie. Well, just gonna be super honest. I love going live now, and after I went Monday, I went Tuesday, then Wednesday I was looking forward to it. Thursday, I don't think I got a chance to go Thursday or Friday, but I did do some lives in the afternoon. I know y'all probably was laughing at some of those videos because I was out there at the beach. Um, hey, thanks a lot. I see your comment. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the kind words. I was at the beach trying to walk barefoot on the sand, and it was about like 90 degrees out there. Wild work. I was definitely getting cooked. I was outside, okay, getting cooked. That sand was no joke. And I have a newfound respect for people who wear the flip flops. You know, I try to refrain against really wearing anything like that when I go to the beach. But that was primarily because usually I go very early in the AM, or I go before the sun goes down. So I'm not really in the mix in the hours where you do your 12 o'clock. What's the primary hours? 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., where the sun is at its peak. I'm not out there necessarily during those hours, and I gave it a shot the other day, and I said, you know what? It definitely had its pros. The only con was that I could not walk barefoot in the sand until I got to the ocean water. So, oh, just do it, bro. I'm glad you are talking out your mind. Just talking out your mind. Yeah, hey, respect. I appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes you got to do it like that. Sometimes, it's all, even if you don't have anything new that happened necessarily, it's always a great thing to just to give people updates on where you are on your journey. If it's something you feel you want to share. Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. I'm good. How's it going? Okay, I see I got some new comments going on. I'm doing excellent. How about yourself? Let's connect in the comment section. Yeah, so yeah, that's the only gripe that I really had with being at the ocean in between like 10 and 3 in the afternoon is that sand was unforgiving, very unforgiving. And, you know, I just thought it was funny because I just thought I was just going to walk out there in the sand, and that sand was like, nah, you're gonna get cooked, you know. And the water was amazing though. I ain't gonna hold you. The water was awesome, just being in the water, because there was the perfect balance. Once I got in the water, my feet didn't hurt. And I was able to stand in the sand after that. Maybe that was just a precursor of what I should do before I even step on the sand, is maybe just go ahead and, there, a lot of oceans have the spraying booth where you can spray your feet off, or spray, pretty much clean the sand off of you. What's going on? Project manager, I see you. Yeah, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I'm in South Florida. So right now it's about almost 2 o'clock p.m. where I am. I'm not sure where you are in the world, but sending you positive energy. You know. Yeah. So I had a blast, man. I was down there. I didn't even want to leave. But I just felt a lot of downloads coming through from the sun. I felt a lot of inspiration from the ideas that I was getting just by fighting through the comfort zone of wanting to stay where I was at, to go to the ocean. And that's kind of why I do it. I kind of love doing the whole um, observing and acknowledging the comfort zones, and kind of veering away from anything comfortable. Oh, India. Okay, I know all about India. Yeah, yeah. Namaste. I'm sending you amazing energy, and I'm sure it's evening time over there, or probably in the middle of the night. Definitely feel free to correct me, because I'm not the best with time zones, but I do recognize and realize that it is evening over there. I'm not sure what time exactly, but sending you in yours positive energy. You are soaking up the sun. Don't you get sunstroke? No, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I definitely recognize being in the sun is, if you're not prepared, it's definitely very unforgiving. Um, Middle of the night, 12 a.m. Oh, okay. USA, what's going on? I see you. Yeah, no, I definitely stay hydrated. Alkaline water, spring water, alkaline water, anything close to 10%, or close to 10% in underneath is okay for me. Coconut water, anything along those parameters, I'm definitely with it. Fruit, because that's kind of how we used to get our water intake before everyone had access to water. Spring water is fruits, so I definitely stay hydrated with the fruits. Lots of watermelon, lots of honeydew melon, lots of all that good stuff. Um, Anything, cucumbers are good if you're gonna blend. But yeah, I definitely stay hydrated. That's what's going on. Um, yeah, so that was kind of my journey out there. I was at a different ocean. Let me see. This time of the year is unforgiving. I saw some traffic lights actually getting melted. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay, in France. Oh, okay, in France. Yeah, France. Okay. Wow, that's Oof. I never heard of that. I never heard of that before. I'm definitely gonna do some research on that and to see. I definitely, I trust what you're saying too. That's very good to observe because, you know, it's it's always said to get your sun intake and what hours are the best. However, it's definitely a good practice. Hit that like button. It's definitely a good practice to stay hydrated as you requested earlier. Absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, I stay everywhere I go. I have water. Um, I like my water room temperature though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love my water room temperature because we are already what 98 degrees. The human body is what, if I'm not mistaken, is 98% water. Could be 96% water, and the body's already 90. So I don't like to force my body to regulate the water I drink by drinking really cold water and then having it, it's gonna go down there and be 98 degrees anyway. So I always like to just drink it room temperature and just let it go like that. In moderation. I'm not chugging back lots of water. I just, when I feel the need. Usually by the time your mouth is dry, you're already dehydrated. So I always try to be ahead of the curve. If I may, if I want to say, if I'm not saying so myself, I always try to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to that. I don't know what the temperature is down here today, but it is very, it's very hot. But yeah, so I just wanted to hop on real quick and let everyone know what times I'm gonna do my lives. I'm gonna definitely, I'm gonna be somewhere in nature. I'm not gonna be where I'm at now, but I'm gonna be somewhere in nature when I film. When it comes to taking sun, let me read this comment real quick. It's a confirmation. When it comes to taking in sun, this time is between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Okay, in the morning. Beyond that, it's all ultraviolet. I know going live is contagious energy, which keeps you going. What is your profession? Well, okay, my profession is I am a artist. I'm a digital artist. I do digital art. Actually right now, to be honest with you, this is kind of my profession right here as well, is doing YouTube. However, I've been a digital artist since 2012. A lot of logos, a lot of website art, a lot of t-shirt art, lots of illustration. I have a few books in Amazon, a few children's books. I have a lot of like sketchbooks and stuff like that going on. Look up the Joey Digital if you want to check out some of my content. I have a lot of stuff over there. I've been busy. I just I'm not gonna call myself a late bloomer when it comes to YouTube. But this is something that thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Wow, that made me smile. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah. I'm not gonna call myself a late bloomer. I just kind of I'm always on YouTube, and it's one of the only apps where you can just observe. You don't. There's no pressure to pull out content. You can just watch. You can learn. You can learn so much things from watching YouTube. I learned a lot of the crafts. I learned a lot of even how to be a digital artist, because I've been an artist all my life. Ever since I was like 3, I've been an artist. The stories about artists. We draw on the wall. We get in trouble with our parents. They put the paper in front of us, and then we go forward. A lot of us, some of us learn later. Some of us, it comes from having a photographic memory, and you don't want to forget what you have been shown, so you just create and you hurry up and apply it to paper or whatever. And that's kind of what I've been doing before I did digital art. I love it, but professionally I've been doing it since 2012. I do own a business, and I have a lot of my links are in my profile. you know I just been enjoying doing YouTube, because like I was saying about YouTube before I interrupted myself. It's one of the only apps that you can get on where there's no pressure to create content. Like, you can literally have a YouTube account for years and not post anything and be satisfied as far as like what you watch, what you consume. You can build your mind up and really follow a lot of the content creators, and you can see if it what they're doing resonates with you. That's why I love YouTube, because you know, when I was on Instagram and Facebook and even I have a TikTok account, there's so much pressure to create um not social media but interest media. Like, you know, now it's not about social media anymore. It's not about being social. It's about, when you create content on these apps, it has to be interesting. You know, it has to be interesting, and that brings a lot of pressure to um people that want to create content, because sometimes you just want to share things and move around. You know, you just want to put your stuff up and move around, but now you start looking at the numbers. You start looking at, you know, these are people that are, there's so many people that are following my content but nobody's liking anything, or you have 3,000 subscribers or 3,000 people that follow you but only 10 people like it, and it's kind of wild. Hold on. What do you think about Northwest performing, or Jaden's new collection? I heard about Northwest. I seen something Northwest. um I'm gonna get out of this Caesar style real quick. Bear with me. I seen it. I think it's okay. I think it's okay, as far as, you know, I know that Kanye. I don't know these people I'm about to speak about. I'm just, you know, based on what is being projected out into the social media. Um, I know that she's what, 12 or 11 or 12 or something like that. And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I'm not gonna say she's too young to create content. It depends on the parent. It depends on the parent. If you ask me personally, because I have a child that age, my oldest is 12, and I don't let her put her face on social media like that, unless it's one of my videos. I definitely have a few videos where I post it with my children, and it's all curated by me. You know, I don't just let them just get on there and talk about, you know, hey, this is where I live, and you know, let's be friends. Like, no, I'm not done raising you. So when you know what I mean, when we 18 and 19 and 20 and 21, then we'll, you know, you can venture out. And you know, I definitely encourage them to be, you know, I want them to still have their youthfulness. I don't want to really just let them be on social media like that. That's my opinion. But guess what? I'm talking about my kids. You know, I would never tell somebody else how they should raise their children. You know, if their family is okay with it, I feel that that's excellent for them. Um, you know, everybody's in a different space. You know, I have to respect that. And even with you were asking me about, what do you call it, Jaden. Jaden Smith, I recollect. I love what he's doing, man. He has this thing where he's promoting it's projected that he's promoting a um free food truck in LA. I believe he's expanding it, but it's like a free food truck where people who are, you know, on rough times, or they're kind of like going through it, they can just kind of go there and get some free food and just kind of take a load off and just eat and not worry about their issues, or where they're going to sleep at night and all of this type of stuff. And I love the fact that he, you know, it's kind of encouraged that everyone is paying it forward, you know, so all the meals that they're eating for free, someone is paying it forward. And even if nobody pays it forward, he's letting them eat. And I believe that that's such a beautiful thing. That's something that, trust me, if I was in that situation, I would definitely do something along the lines. I wouldn't do what he's doing because he has his own space. He's doing it his way. I love that he's doing it his way. You know, I'm not one of those people that want to take over what he's doing, but I would definitely say that I'm truly inspired by it, and I love that. You know, it takes, you know, that's a very high level of compassion. And yeah, I'm reading your comments too, by the way. Thank you so much for you know, your comments, and I'm definitely reading them. Don't, you know, I don't want you to think I'm not reading them. I would definitely create something that I would like, but that would be my bottom line. If that were ever anything that I would do, I would definitely look out for people who don't have the same break maybe as I have, or that other people have. And actually too, it's funny that you asked me this question. Um okay, all right. So when it comes to my digital art, I was gonna say something about the Jaden thing too, but I'll get back to that if I remember. Yeah, my art is just kind of like, um, I try and create art that nobody's creating. I know that's crazy because a lot of artists, we all kind of get inspiration by what somebody else created. That's kind of usually the loop. You find somebody that creates something that you feel like you could do similar, better, or take it your own way. And it's not a competition thing. It's definitely inspiration based. I always try to create. I love graffiti and stuff, even though I don't do it. I have my art mentor. He definitely does a lot of that, and but my style is just my ideal style is I love creating adventure art. Like I said earlier, I'm an illustrator. I illustrate a lot of children's books, so I'm always about, I try to capture that essence of, you know before the programming began, where, as a child, you kind of imagine that you're going on this adventure where you're saving the world, and I do a lot of that. So I lean more I lean more into my imagination than the truth or the facts. I try to tap into, because as you know, the imagination is pretty much God frequency energy. So if anytime you can imagine something and you can see it with clarity, it can be created. All right. So and artwork is the best way to create something without imposing or without moving anyone else's ideals to the side or anything like that. You can kind of just be free. You can be free, and you can create. I should talk more about. Hold on. Should talk more about your art personally. I like your insight better than the Jaden. I respect. Yeah, nah. Hey, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's kind of something that it's funny. It's wow. It's actually, and when I say it's funny, I'm not laughing. I'm saying it's like it's funny because it's like it's very inspirational. Because that's kind of, I was making a reference to my art. Uh, my mentor, he was saying to me, he was like, I thought you were gonna create a channel about your art because your art is so da-da-da." And I'm like, yeah, at the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I get a lot of people who talk with me about um introspection and path work, and a lot of people talk with me. Of course, I don't tell people's stories. um but people a lot of times will talk to me about, um they're looking for inspiration and motivation. So that's kind of like, to me, it feels like, um, it just was a no-brainer. I was like, hey, I got this camera. I'm gonna talk, and plus two, and to your point, because I'm still reading your comments, and I appreciate your honesty. Thank you so much. In life, sometimes you have your idea of how you see your life going, and as we all know, life goes like this. It goes like this. It goes like this. You think it's gonna go straight forward, but things happen, and to me, it was more like a space where I could just talk and heal. I was going through a lot of things. Some of it I shared, some of it I didn't. All of it was healed. So that's kind of why, if I may say, that's kind of the inspiration to my journey on how come I got on here and didn't do art as opposed to talking, or inspiration content, motivation content. And I appreciate your honesty, as I said earlier. And I that I'm reading the comment, and thank you so much. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's always, and I feel like, to your point as well too, just being honest, I respect it, not just because you're being honest or that you subscribed. I really respect it because it's all about perspective. It's the Jaden thing. It's not everybody's there, or it's always going to be about perspective. And so only thing I could do as a person, of course, I'm on the outside looking in. You have to respect the journey. Just like I would want, just like I respect my journey, I respect everyone's journey. So But I appreciate you asking me about it, because I don't think anyone's ever asked me about that. And I've been watching it. I don't watch it as closely. I don't watch the Northwest or the Jaden. I don't really, I dabble. I watch things periodically, but I'm not like really engulfed in it. I just kind of like, I like to give respect to people's personal space, and if that's what they want to do, I just I observe it and I stay out of the way. So, but yeah, man, no, I appreciate that. And you know, I don't know. As a sidebar, I don't know if these comments or if these questions pop up when I post this question. When I post this video as a live video, as a actual public video, I don't know if these questions pop up, but these are amazing questions. So yeah, so as I was saying earlier, I definitely am making a jump to going live. If and you know what too, actually, I believe I may want to actually post some of my art on here live. Spread the love and light. Hey man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. And I'm gonna. That's my primary goal, is to just spread that love, spread that light. Um, if I may say, what I aspire to do is, hopefully I can be in a space where I can inspire all who watch my video to see the love and the light that they have within themselves. That's what instead of it being all about me, I just want to inspire you, the collective, to kind of tap into your own energy and find things about your life that you love, that you are inspired with, because it's easy for me to get on here and talk about me, but that's kind of my goal, is to kind of get myself out of the way and be more transparent. um, your worldview is very mature. Glad your kid have a father like you. That means a lot. Thank you kindly. Thank you. That means a lot. Wow, I'm gonna sit with that. That was wow. That made me smile. I appreciate that. Wow. Um, yeah. So I am. My thing is, and I'm really inspired. Wow, I really should do that. I should start. Maybe some of my lives I should put some of my artwork on. Because I'm gonna be honest. I'm one of those artists that I don't create every single day like I used to, but whenever I create, it's always like as if I created every single day. And you know, some of the people I look up to, that follow my content, they're kind of like, you need to do it more. So you do it, and I'm like, I don't want to be, because all right. Um, Anyways, my point is, I don't want to go too far into that, but I'm definitely going to definitely make an attempt to, at least one of my videos, I'm gonna just maybe do less talking and just show y'all the skill set, just show y'all the actual, just the paper being blank and just going in and creating something. Because I like to create a lot of line art, vector art, a lot of digital art. I'm really good with the um, what do you call it? Oh man, what's that art style where you can take pictures and crop it? I guess they call it doctoring, or Photoshop. Yeah, I'm wilding. I'm really good. I'm actually excellent with the Photoshop. Um, Adding things, taking things away, and all of it is self-taught. And when I say self-taught, again, I came to YouTube. There's a lot of people that you can definitely trust the skill set, because for one, they're putting their face on here, and for two, they're showing you quality stuff. And it was something that I felt that I could build. And I've you know I've learned how to do a lot of art just by I've also done before digital art, because that's what I kind of settled in with. But before digital art, I used to do a lot of airbrushing. I used to do airbrushing shirts, hoodies, um, jeans, stuff like that. Then I used to do custom sneakers. You know, that's kind of the wave right now. Shout out to my people who do custom sneakers. I used to do custom sneakers, hand painted custom sneakers, airbrush custom sneakers. I used to do that before that. And then, oh man, what else? There's other things that I used to do. Um, all of it's self-taught, but all of it also is stuff that I seen on YouTube that I said, oh, hey, I could do that. Um, and I had a lot of fun with it. You know, there's no real reason why I stopped doing it. I had fun with it. That's kind of my bottom line is I had fun with it. I tried it, and I like to try a lot of different things. You know, I'm not like one that really settles in and does one thing for like 40 or 50 years. I like to add it to my skill set. I like to be able to um, keep one thing on the burner and do something else and stuff because I always like to be surrounded by inspiration. And that's kind of how I even got into creating on that level, you know. And it comes with having that vision, you know. Like you see me, I'm sitting out in the sun right now. I'm getting a lot of downloads from the sun, and a lot of things are vision work. A lot of things that I experience is vision work. You know, you become a visionary when you are able to capture visions and you are able to recreate the vision that you capture. All right, art imitates life. Okay, I know you know about cameras. I know a lot of people that watch this video know about cameras. There used to be cameras, now we have them in our phones. Now everything is, you know, you can grab a picture that is shown to you and you can upload it to social media. And art imitates life. A camera is only doing things that we did first. That's something that we as spiritual beings having a human experience are able to do before the camera was created. You know, so we are able to take visions that we have, capture it, recreate it, share it with the world. That's stuff that we've been doing since the beginning of time. So just recently, we are experiencing a time where we have phones, we have cameras, we have tablets, we have internet, we have Wi-Fi, there's a lot of different things that we are experiencing now. And I'll even go so far as to say that this is not the first time that the world has ever been like this. There's a lot of information that is out here of civilizations that have occurred before this. There will be other civilizations that will show up after this that will recapture the essence of what it is we experience now. And everyone has their creative expression. I just feel like right now we're experiencing it in the present moment because this is what it is, you know. Let me see. What is the possibility of collaborating in the art space for artists across different time zones with the world fractured because of its borders? We need a lot of unity. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, there's a lot of... I'm recognizing, and I love that comment, I'm recognizing that there are people, and I'm not judging myself when I say this. I'm not judging myself. There are people way more talented than I am that may live in other countries, you know, who may or may not have gotten that break. They may or may not have gotten that break that are they don't even have to talk. Their skill set, it shows that it expands way broader than maybe something that I've created or others. And you know, it's not a judgment. It's just a acknowledgement of the skills that people are able to create with. You know, the abundance of the ideas that they get. You know, and that's kind of what inspires me. You know, this question that, yeah, Africa, yeah, absolutely, yeah, Africa, yeah, man. There's a lot of, I love what they do out there. You know, what the creating. You know, and I always ask myself, what will we be doing, right, as a people, if it was not all about tangible money, or if it was not about being rich or being wealthy? Like, what would wealthiness or richness be if it didn't have to do with bank accounts or money or, as you said earlier, being restricted to traveling? You know, language and access to technology is a real challenge. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even myself right now, I'm imagining how far I would have been if I didn't wait to get on, you know, because right now everybody's pushing YouTube, or TikTok is blowing up, or like, and even with that, I feel, I'm not gonna say I feel late, but I just feel like, had we all had access to the knowledge, and the free will is there, but the knowledge, being able to intertwine the knowledge with the free will of the creativity is what I'm saying. We would be, we still can be so much more even in this present moment, because I always like to be present. All right. And I feel like now is the best time to acknowledge that we can tap in with different ideologies or skill sets, and just the idea of being able to get out of your own mind and be able to just observe what's being shown to you in your mind, you know because as I say in some of my videos, not every thought you think is yours. And I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm saying that to say that sometimes the ideas you get are from your higher version, your higher self, and or whatever you may believe in, because everyone's in a different, as I say, everyone's in a different space of where they are with how they see themselves or what they experience. So I would never want to say that what I experience is what everyone else experiences, because everyone has their own journey. I totally understand and understand what you're saying, because we a lot of times we get so many different visions throughout our day, and we don't have that avenue where we can express what we are shown, where we can show other people what we are shown. And even if you are able to show it, we still have to respect the fact that everyone's on a different plateau. Everyone's on different levels of what they experience. So some people get it, some people don't, and it's not detrimental. It's not to say that they're lesser or anything like that. It's just everyone's experiencing life where they are. And I feel like it's a beautiful thing, because people, when you're a creator, people get it. People get what you create. They get it how they get it. And like, there's been things that I've been shown 10 or 12 years ago, I'm just now grasping. There's a lot of things that, because I know you were saying in your message that you wrote earlier about language and access to the technology. Some things don't have to have. Sometimes the technology is just you being able to see it. Sometimes the language is just you being able to see it. It doesn't necessarily have to be you knowing the language, or being able to converse with the person, or having the phone, or having the computer or the tablet. Sometimes you just have to be able to visually see something that was created, and then it will be shown to you in your way, the way that you perceive it. It's all about perceiving and perception a lot of times. And that's why the first thing some people do when they get the ability to travel, or even if you don't have the ability to travel, if you go to a library or something and you see it in a book, the first thing people do is they go to a library, or they go to a not library, they go to a museum. They go to a museum, or they go to different museums, or they experience the different culture, so that they can see how people live, or how they eat, or how the body language, because it's not all about what's being said. Because a lot of times, I only speak English, you know, I kill. I'm from now. We will stay connected. Yes, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Stay connected, absolutely. And I'm gonna say, because I'm not sure how long you'll be on for, but I'm hoping and praying and wishing that I'm providing value to yourself and to the whole collective as well. That's my primary goal. I don't just want to just be on here, just look at me and da da da. It's definitely a deeper connection. That I would hope to connect with when I pop on these lives with yourself and with everyone else as well. So yeah, I truly believe that it's all about the perspective. It's all about what you are perceiving. And when it comes to when you are observing what is being created before you see it. And like I said earlier, I only talk English. I know I understand a little bit of Spanish. I understand a little bit of Indian. I'm sorry if I'm not saying the actual verb, like the style of the verbiage. Um, my apologies, but I understand it. And a lot of my understanding, or my understanding comes from observing body language, observing the energy. You know, as I say in my videos, everything is measured in energy, frequency, and vibration, and I got that from Nikolai Tesla. You know, everything is experienced in its truest authenticity through energy, frequency, and vibration in its most authentic style. You know, so that's kind of, you know, and you know, of course, there's no excuse. I can always put an attempt out to learn other languages and get deeper. And really, that's how you really get deep introspection is, you know, you learn other cultures, you learn other styles. You know, your way of, you know, my way of living, in other words, is not the only way. It's only a drop of water in the ocean, you know, no pun intended. You know, my style of how I'm living my life in the present moment is only a speck of water in the ocean. There's so many ways that people can live, and all ways are right. You know, everyone has the ability to preserve, everyone has the ability to perceive life and live life the way that they see fit. You know, and you can, the beautiful thing about life is you can make a decision now to change, and you can make the change now. You don't need any permission to change how you see your life or how you live your life. And I believe that's the beautiful part about living life and learning how to love life, you know, is you love the life you live, and you, when you live the life you love, you know, hit that like button. I really appreciate everyone who has checked in. If you want to support the channel, definitely subscribe. If you want to support the channel, definitely hit that like button. I do have services in my bio, but I never push my services on the people. You can definitely check out what it is. If you feel inspired, definitely spread the love, or, you know, share my content. But the best way to support the channel is if you want to subscribe, definitely subscribe, or like the content, commenting. I love the comments as well. Yeah, so I don't know what it sounds like. It want to rain. I don't know what it's going to do. Some of the sky is sunny. Some of the sky is cloudy. You know, it's all good. I don't know what's going on. I guess, you know, I guess because I just got out of the shower not too long back, and now I'm in the sun, it's like a difference of cold, hot. But anyways, I'm here, and what do you got? Hold on a second, hold on. That's kind of what I got going on behind me. So yeah, one thing I want to say too as well is when you get, because this is what I want to say. Just now, we had the summer solstice this week. We had another Mercury retrograde, which is a time in life where you are being shown your past, not so that you could revisit it, but so that you can look at what you have conquered, look at what you have been triumphant over. And of course, the summer solstice these are the longest, hottest times of the year. If, you know, my guess is if you're in America, because I'm in America right now, I'm in the USA, South Florida. So these next couple of weeks or months or whatever are the longest days where the sun is the hottest, where the sun is at its truest potential. And these are the best times to really get out here in nature. If you don't have the ability to get out in nature, you know, it doesn't have to be at the ocean, like a lot of my videos are at the ocean. It doesn't have to be, you know, it can be wherever you find nature at. You may have a forest behind, you know, where you live, or you may have a lake where you live. You may not have an ocean near you. You may have your backyard. You may have a local park where other people are at. You know, it's perfectly fine. But I'm definitely encouraging you all to take advantage of this time to really get out into nature and watch your thoughts and learn yourself on a deeper level. so that you can really be tapped in with what it is you feel, what it is you know about yourself, and who you are as a spiritual being having a human experience, because it's a beautiful journey. I mean, at first I used to be uncertain, but I find solace in change and evolution. And I'm learning that I learned this year for myself that the universe, God, the source of creation, it could be Allah, it could be Buddha, it could be, whatever you subscribe to, its strongest frequency, its strongest energy, its strongest vibration, the authenticity lies in its ability to create change and create better situations constantly, consistently, and I learned that on my journey just by watching my own journey, not watching anybody else's. I forget who coined the phrase, but it was saying, the people would say, when I first started my journey, I wanted to change the world, but as I got wiser, I learned to change myself. And the world is, as we look at it, the world is already created by other people's thoughts and visions and feelings. But the world you create will come from your own thoughts, feelings, and envisionments. The world that you perceive is one that will be. I can have mod. Okay, how's it going? How's it going? Clarify. I don't want to misinterpret what you're saying. I can have mod. I'm looking at the comments. Hey, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for hopping in on the live. I truly appreciate you for checking in, and I want to send you some positive energy. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, the world you will be the most happy traversing in is the one that you help co-create. When I say co-create, that means that you get the downloads from the creator, the source of creation, God, and you will be given the assignment to do the necessary tasks needed so that you can be a co-creator of the reality that you wish to experience. And it doesn't matter even if it's just you having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, or you could be doing something extraordinary like building something for someone else to experience or yourself to experience. It's all about, that's how you tap into your love frequency, is you do the things that you love and you become the things that you love. What you do, you become. So I'm hoping that I can really inspire you, motivate you to be the version of yourself that you love. Do the things that the version of yourself that you loves doing, and become the person that experiences your highest timeline as yourself, unapologetically and authentically. That's kind of my wish fulfillment that I want to see from you, the collective, is I want to see y'all really enjoying life on your highest timeline, enjoying being happy, spending time with friends and family, or spending time alone. A lot of people in this collective spend a lot of alone time, and it's not hermit mode, it's not isolation. Nobody hurts y'all, nobody is coming against you. You just enjoy your own company, and it doesn't have anything to do with what anybody did against y'all, or if anyone hurt y'all or anything like that. It has nothing to do with anybody else, and it has everything to do with yourself. And that's the beautiful part about this journey, is that when there's no expectations, everything happens. When you don't expect anything, everything happens. I started cutting the expectations off. I stopped walking around with my hand out like this. I stopped expecting validation. I stopped expecting people to validate me or to owe me anything. And I started walking into blessings. I started walking into manifestations of happiness, joy. And of course, as well, the other side of that token is I stopped feeling like I owed people explanations. I stopped feeling like I um, had to give, and I just kind of just observed. I observed things. I'm okay with if things go great. I'm okay if things don't go great. I'm okay with everything, and I don't have any expectations. And because I don't have any expectations, all of the expectations have been given to me by the universe, by God. And I'm just able to just sit in this energy and enjoy. And this is kind of the whole premise of this video, because I started off talking about summer solstice. I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but I'm saying it now. Summer solstice, Mercury retrograde. There's been a blue moon that happened in the past couple of weeks. There's been a lot of energy shifts. I'm not really savvy with the astrological chart. I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to get into. I'm going to leave that to the professionals. I love watching their stuff. So I'm just going to leave it to the people who know more than I do. I'm not going to get on here and act like I know anything astrologically, because I definitely don't. But I know one thing I know for sure. I know about these crystals. That's an actual fact. You ask me anything about these crystals, I could tell you what I know. And if it's something I don't know, I'm willing to be a student. I'm not even going to act like I know it all about the crystals. Crystals I know things about, and not only that, I use the crystals that I talk about, that I work with. I don't know if that makes any sense. I use the crystals that I talk about, the crystals that I talk about are the crystals that I work with. Let's put it like that. And heavy into the Moldavite, heavy into the Colombianite, heavy into the black tektite. I love using a lot of tektites, interstellar, intergalactical, crystals that come from asteroids. I love Libyan desert glass. Anything that had a cosmic event in the beginning of time, or as we know, time is not linear, but as they say, the beginning of time. Um, I definitely know a lot about tektites. I know a lot about crystals, clear quartz crystal, stuff like that. Um, Smoky quartz, celestials, um, bismuth. I know a lot of stuff. Y'all been seeing my videos. I don't claim to know everything about every crystal, but I know what I know. I do use them, and but the whole premise of this video, as I was saying, is I love knowing that the only thing that is constant is change and evolution, and God or the universe is constantly working to create your best possible timeline. If you are experiencing things happening in this timeline where things are falling away, if you are experiencing things falling apart, just know that they're not falling apart. Things are falling together. Only things that are falling apart is things that are no longer serving you, all right? Things that are coming into your life to distract you, things that are coming into your life to block your blessings, things that are coming into your life that are holding you back for 5 years or 10 years from being where you need to be. Those are the things that are leaving your life, all right? And that's a promise, and I don't make a lot of promises, but I know, just based on what I'm experiencing, I know that a lot of the people who subscribe to this channel, if not all of you, are currently experiencing a flow state where nothing but synchronicities are coming into your life, where it's like blessing, 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 and you're constantly being elevated, pulled up to your highest timeline. You may even imagine yourself as an angelic being, even though your wings are not visible, but you are just on a higher frequency, um, you are just on a higher frequency. I've experienced, within the past couple of weeks, where people interact with me and they're like, wow, I've never experienced anyone that has your high vibrational frequency. I've been around people who have had higher vibrational frequencies than me, where I'm inspired to walk this path, where I'm like, I thought my vibration was high, and I'm like, man, there's people that have really done the work, and they're not even working. They were born like that, and I just love being on this journey where we are really able to be in the present moment and experience things in the present moment. You know, there's a lot of I have a lot of different kinds of videos. As I was saying with the person that I was tapped in with earlier, we were talking on the live earlier. I definitely want to get some of my artwork into the live feeds a little bit more. But just know, if I do put artwork, I'm not gonna do a lot of talking. Maybe, I don't know, like some of my non-talking videos do good as well. Not every video I create has to have a lot of talking. Um, but if I do, not if, when I do create art, I will definitely have it set up so that y'all can enjoy it. Of course, I'm going to create stuff that I want to create, stuff that's fun, stuff that's fly, stuff that's, really great. For those of you all who are tapping in here, in this time frame of the video, I am a digital artist. I do a lot of digital art. I do a lot of logos, t-shirt art, avatars, vector work, Photoshop. All of it is self-taught. Okay, all of it is self-taught. I've been doing it since 2012, so I've been down. I've been down by law, for a while now, and I love it. I love what I do because I always do what I love, and that's kind of what y'all will expect most likely when I create. I was actually encouraged to do more art. I'm not sure if I was encouraged to turn this into an art channel. I don't know, man. If y'all really love my art like that, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I gotta be inspired. That's why the content, I have almost 2,000 videos of content that's like this because I'm inspired. And every time it was shown to me that I should change direction or do anything, I've gone harder. Because I have no aspirations to quit or stop or anything like that, because I'm doing what I love. This is a wish fulfillment for me. And if I have an opportunity to show my art, that's just a cherry on top. That's just extra for me. Because art, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'll create art and I don't need anybody necessarily to watch me in order for me to find value in the art that I create, because I've created art for many years without anybody seeing it. And before I decided to start a business and be professional with it. And that's not something that I feel that, if I don't share it, it doesn't have any value. I could create that easy without a camera on. But this right here, I feel like it's very valuable. And I feel like I feel like y'all find inspiration in it. I find inspiration in it. I started out it's a healing journey. Okay. I went through a lot of different, some things, it's not as deep as other people have gone through, but for myself, I felt like it was an opportunity for me to kind of connect with like-minded people and heal and provide value and show y'all the techniques that I'm using to heal. It's not necessarily, I didn't get on here and do a tell-all book about, oh, this person did this or I experienced that. No, it was not that kind of a healing journey. It was kind of like, yeah, these things happening, but it's behind the scenes. But this is what I'm showing y'all. I'm showing y'all that I'm able to show up. I'm showing y'all that I'm able to be present. I'm able to smile. I'm able to be authentic, because it's easy to just, and I'm not knocking people who get on social media and share their personal life, but there comes a time where your personal life changes, and then you might say, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have shared all of that, and it's an opportunity, unfortunately, to be misunderstood. And people, I'm not judging how people will view people that do that. I'm just saying that it's, for me, for myself personally, I just didn't feel like it was the kind of space I wanted to create. I didn't want to create a space where I'm telling y'all who did what and all this type of stuff. And, I don't want to create a channel like that. I just felt like that would kind of draw energy away from y'all. But I felt like by me providing content, the kind of content that I create where I inspire y'all and I motivate y'all, that will give y'all more energy. That gives y'all more energy and more inspiration to do things that y'all want to do instead of pulling energy. I don't want to come on here and pull the energy away from y'all. And now y'all feel more drained than when y'all watch me, or y'all might feel a dopamine hit, and then y'all drop down lower, you know, because maybe I'm going through something that y'all may have been through or may not have been through, and we're just sitting here like, oh man, you know, we're going through it. I wanted to show y'all in return, yeah, maybe I've been through what y'all been through, but I made it out. Here's how I made it out. You know, positive energy, positive frequency, positive vibrations, high vibrational authenticity in its truest form. And, you know, I just wanted to kind of show y'all that regardless of, you know, regardless of what y'all been through, there's always a better way. You know, there's always going to be a better way for you to be you, you know, and um you don't have to show up you can show up as you are, and you can make a decision today to be who you want to be today in this moment. And you don't have to wait to be agreed with. You don't have to wait for people to give you the confirmation to do what you're gonna do anyway, or you need to do anyway. All you need to do is show up for yourself and be yourself and be unapologetic, you know, and watch the blessings show up. Listen, I love y'all. Thinking of y'all, sending y'all positive energy, frequency, and vibrations in this moment. Go ahead and be great. Do something great for yourself in this moment. All right. I am posting this to the feed. All right. For those of y'all who are coming in on the end of this video, I will be posting this so that you can check it out from the beginning if you feel inspired to. All right. And if you're interested in my services are in my bio. I will put it in the comment section. I will pin the comment, and it's already in my bio and in the descriptions of some of my other videos and lives that I have posted. All right. Go be great today. You don't need my permission. Do it. Be it. Experience it. Embody it. All right. I will see you all in the very next video. Peace and love. Namaste. Peace.